Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we're going to build a 5-step financial plan. And look, this is less about boring spreadsheets and way more about designing a life you actually want to live. So let's jump right in.
Okay, let's just get right into it, because this is a question that drives people crazy, right? Why is it that some people seem to get rich with total ease, while the rest of us are struggling, no matter how much we earn? You wonder, is it just luck? Did they get a big inheritance? Well, the truth is, for most people who are financially free, the secret, it isn't really a secret at all. It's a system. And this is the absolute core of it. Financial success isn't really about the math. It's about your mindset and the systems you put in place. See, the problem for most of us isn't our income. It's that we're relying on willpower, and willpower always runs out. We need a system, some automation that just does the work for us. And that's exactly what we're going to build today. All right, first things first, we have to start with the mental game. Why? Because your financial habits, they're just a mirror reflecting your beliefs about money. So before we can build any system that's actually going to work, we've got to clear out those mental roadblocks that are holding you back. Okay, so here's a huge trap that so many people fall into. It's this perfection mindset. You think you have to fix everything all at once perfectly. And what happens? You just get overwhelmed and burn out. The real power, the real secret sauce, is in progress. Just focus on small, consistent wins. Automating one tiny action is way more powerful than trying to change your entire life overnight and then, well, achieving nothing.
You ever wonder why saving feels so damn hard? Well, there's actually some science behind it. It's a little thing called present bias. Basically, our brains are wired to want the good stuff right now. That little dopamine hit from an online purchase feels way more real than some big reward way off in the future. And listen, this isn't you being weak or bad with money. It's just how our brains work. It's a cognitive bias. So the trick isn't to fight it with willpower. That's a losing battle. The trick is to build systems that outsmart your own brain.
Okay, mindset check done. Now for the fun part. Let's figure out where we're actually going. I mean, a financial plan is totally useless if you don't know what you're planning for, right? This is where we stop talking about budgets and start talking about your rich life.
So, I want you to forget everything you've ever heard about budgeting. A rich life is not about cutting back and feeling deprived. It's about freedom. So instead of asking, what should I cut back on? I want you to ask yourself a totally different question. What do I want to spend more money on? What do you love so much that you want to spend extravagantly on it? See how that flips the script? We're moving from deprivation to intentional, joyful spending.
And these are what we call your money dials. These are the areas in your life where spending money actually makes you happy. Things like travel, or amazing food, or your hobbies. The goal here is not to be cheap about everything. No way. The goal is to figure out what your top 1 or 2 dials are, and then give yourself permission to crank them up to 11.
And that is the whole point. This is what we're aiming for. Your financial plan shouldn't be this thing that stresses you out. It should be the tool, the engine that powers your vision of freedom. It's what gets you to your version of a rich life.
Okay, you've got the vision. You know what your rich life looks like. Now, let's build the machine. We're going to create a system that makes all this happen automatically, in the background, so you can stop thinking about it and stop relying on that flaky friend called willpower.
This right here is your roadmap. It's called the Conscious Spending Plan, and it's super simple. We're giving every single dollar a job. So roughly 50 to 60% of your take-home pay goes to fixed costs, rent, utilities, the stuff you have to pay. Then about 10% goes to investments, another 5 to 10% for savings goals, like a vacation or a down payment. And then, and this is my favorite part, a full 20 to 35% is just for you, for guilt-free spending on whatever you want.
And here's how we make it happen automatically. It's the magic of paying yourself first. The second your paycheck lands in your account, boom, an automatic transfer sends money to your investments. Boom, another one sends money to your savings. You treat your future self like it's a bill you have to pay. It takes all the emotion, all the should I or shouldn't I out of the equation. And the best part? Whatever's left in your checking account, that is 100% yours to spend, totally guilt-free.
Okay, so once you have that system running on autopilot, something really amazing starts to happen. Your money starts working for you. This is where we unlock the power of compounding. This is the real engine of building wealth.
They say Albert Einstein called compound interest the 8th wonder of the world.
Now, who knows if he actually said that, but the idea is absolutely spot on. Because understanding this one thing, it's literally the difference between earning wealth and paying it to someone else. Just to show you how insane this is, think about the magic penny. Imagine you have a penny, and it doubles in value every single day. For the first couple of weeks, it's kind of boring, right? By day 10, you've only got about $5. But then, the growth just goes vertical. It becomes explosive. By day 30, that one penny has turned you into a multimillionaire. That's the power of compounding.
Okay, so what does that look like in the real world, not with magic pennies? Well, say you invest £10,000 and it earns a 5% return. Over 20 years, it doesn't just grow by a little bit. Because your interest starts earning its own interest, that 10 grand snowballs into over 27,000 pounds. That extra 7 grand, that's money your money made for you while you were just living your life.
But remember that Einstein quote, "He who doesn't understand it pays it"? Well, that part is very, very real. Compounding has a dark side, a kind of evil twin, and its name is high-interest debt. That's why our final, crucial step is to get that beast under control. Now, it's super important to know that not all debt is the same. There's good debt and bad debt. Good debt is when you borrow money for something that could go up in value, like a house. But bad debt, that's your high-interest credit cards, the stuff you buy that loses value the second you own it. That kind of debt compounds against you. It's actively working to make you poorer every single day.
So here's a really simple rule of thumb to keep in mind. Add up all your monthly debt payments. We're talking your mortgage, car loan, credit cards, everything. That total number should not be more than 36% of your gross monthly income. If you're creeping over that line, that's a red flag. You're in the danger zone, and it's time to really focus on a plan to bring that down.
And if you want to know why this stuff matters so much, just look at this. For the exact same house, the difference between having a good credit score and a bad one could cost you over $123,000 extra dollars in interest over 30 years. Let that sink in. 123 grand. That is the massive, staggering cost of not taking control of your debt.
So there you have it. That's the blueprint. The thing is, building a rich life isn't about some giant leap you take one day. It's not a finish line you cross. It's just the sum of all the small, consistent, automated steps you take along the way. So now that you have the plan, the only real question is, what's the first small step you're going to automate this week?